Good morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. All right. I want to be able to share with you some speed clear application. For those of you that work with speed clear, for those of you guys that work with the clear powder, you want to be able to obviously work with something that is going to give you glass-like nails. So whether you're working with glitter, you're doing design work, or you're just looking for the ultimate transparency, there's nothing clearer or more glass-like than Young Nail Speed Clear. For those of you guys that just jumped on, just remember to smash the like button. The more you guys smash the like button, the more this will get out to people out there and get those nail enthusiasts as well as professionals the nail education they deserve. All right, so what we need to do, just remember, when you are submersing your brush, you don't want to drag it or stab it. If you drag it like this, you're going to get, again, certain inconsistencies. You're not going to get a big bead, especially with like cover powders and stuff. Another thing is if you stab the product and swirl it, you're going to notice that you get like dandruff around the bead as well. This is an absolute bad way of picking it up. You want to be able to tap it, and then at a 45-degree angle, you're going to come down and then bounce inside the powder. This is going to allow you to pick up something on one side of the brush, which is going to, as you can see, release really well without sticking, right? So if you have too much liquid and just, again, for those of you guys that are successful actually tapping it out, but then what you do is you just set the brush in the surface like this for an extended period of time. What will probably end up happening is the bead will drop back inside the powder, and then, a lot of you guys that are beginning, you'll try to get this. You'll like, I could get it, and what you end up picking up is an asteroid, right? That's what we do not want to happen. Right, we want to be able to submerse, lightly tap, again, at an angle, not too flat, not too steep, at like a 45-degree angle, pull back, and then bounce. You can see the divot that I created, which is to allow you to gain control. Now, again, the balance that I have, as you can see, when I'm holding my brush, I want to be able to hold it in the crease of my hand, right? I don't hold it like way out here like this and then pull it like this, right? Because if you do that, again, you're going to get inconsistencies. You can see how long it took for the bead to dry as I'm dragging it through the surface. If you hold, again, your brush where the brush can rest on the crease, then I could use my ring finger. I could literally rest the brush on my hand, right, as balance, so that when I pull down and then bounce, you're going to notice that I'm actually able, again, to pick up something nice and round and fluffy and even, that you can see even by holding this for an extended period of time, I'll be able to release it from the brush without anything sticking, and as well running all over the place, right? The goal is to create a consistency that is going to self-level. So take a look at these consistencies. So if I was to submerge my brush with a lot of liquid and then pull down and then bounce inside the powder and then immediately set it to the surface where I would be able to use the tip of my brush and walk around, you can see how fast I could get this to move from cuticle to free edge, right, without really doing anything. Again, I'm using the self-leveling characteristics of the product to move from here to here, right? So that, to me, again, was a little bit too fast. It's not going to run this way because I had the finger pointed down towards the towel. The biggest mistake that a lot of beginners make is they are, let's say you are successful at actually picking something up, and if you held the finger too flat and then you stuck it like this, right? That's a problem, right? Because the product is going to run this way. You can see like I just created a mushroom on top, It's not going to do anything but run onto the skin and create a headache for you while you are working, right? So you don't want to hold the finger flat and create a mushroom cloud on top. Let's go ahead and pull that off of the nail, right? So you can see what we want to be able to do. I need to hold the finger down towards the bottom, and you'll notice that if I submerge the brush, and again, I pull at a 45-degree angle, bounce, bounce, bounce. Watch this. If I just waited 1, 2, 3, and then at a 4 count, I slowly released and then touched around the perimeter of the nail. Watch how much slower this actually moves. It'll actually move like pretty much down to a point where if I decided to touch the sides, look at this. I can actually create a smile line without really doing anything, right? I could create this beautiful self-leveling smile line in the least amount of effort. I think that a lot of people out there that are learning how to do any type of smile lines with French or with glitters, right? Look at this. Just by laying that down, right, you can see if I was even to take a glitter mix and just get this into like this little area right here. If I was just to swipe that off of my brush, right, and then use, again, a lot of the self-leveling characteristics, right? Look at this. I just lightly push this behind. I could literally slide this behind the smile line with just, again, and this is a very chunky glitter, but having that wall there is going to allow you, as you can see, to create perfection. And then once you actually get glitter onto the nail, you would actually cap it, right? So let's review that one more time. If I was going to create a smile line, right, what I would do is I would submerge my brush. I would lightly tap this off. Again, I have a swollen, basically, bristle that has enough monomer where I'll be able to come down at a 45-degree angle, bounce, 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 count out 1, 2, 3, and then at 4, I would slowly release, use the tip of the brush to lightly walk behind. Now you can see with the right angle, right, I'm literally just lightly touching. I'm going to get a nice teardrop run, right, all the way down towards this area, right? Just by touching the surface, you could see how that the smile line works itself into perfection, where I can take literally this part of my brush and just lightly tuck it back to hold that wall to create, as you can see, a very dynamic, basically, wall from corner to corner, right? It's not about dragging it out. I feel that a lot of beginners, when they're learning how to do this, the biggest struggle that they have is they'll come in, they try to remove way too much liquid. They'll hold their brush in the surface like this. And then what you end up coming out with, again, is something really dry. And then let's say like you're like, okay, you set this down, but notice like the liquid didn't even absorb. Like, so you're stuck again with this booger that you just applied on the nail, which is going to do absolutely nothing. We don't want to work with a booger. You want to be able to submerge your brush, again, load up the liquid, and then at a 45-degree angle, if you pull down and then bounce, right, this is going to absorb real quick. If I count out 2, 3, 4, release, again, the angle of my brush, all I have to do is use the tip to walk behind, right? You can see, like, even if I lightly touch the surface, I can get the volume to move down, and then I could use the wedge of the brush just to tuck the sides up. This is great for those of you guys that are gluing tips on and overlaying, and your customers want tight smile lines, because what you're going to be able to do is, right, by just lightly touching the back end of the cuticle area, you're going to be able to guarantee that you have something that's going to be very easy to file, right? And for something as, again, you can see the thickness that I have down through the barrel. Look at the side profile. For those of you guys that are learning how to do this, don't worry about stuffing it too close to the edge. If there is the least amount of ledge, it's going to be very easy for you to file into perfection. And then again, depending on the glitter, right, or the white, if you chose to use white, I would always go with a little bit more. And then what you can do is you can just scrape it off the brush, right? And then don't worry about whether or not it's too thick, right, or some glitter gets above. If you have this glitter and you just jammed it up to the smile line like this, even if glitter got on top, what you would be able to do is file it away into perfection, right? So once I actually have this on, then what you would do is use a very, very small amount of speed clear and just set this to the surface. This is going to accelerate the drying process. And then it'll prevent you from actually filing into the glitter to create any type of discoloration or anything. But again, you can see even though it's self-leveling, all I would have to do is just hold the side. I don't have to worry about the product getting away from me. All right, so let's just review that one more time. Trying to create a nice smile line, taking advantage of using something like Speed Clear, right, to get it to move from this point to this point. If I was to submerge my brush, and for those of you guys that are out here, remember to smash that like button. The more you smash that like button, it's going to get this information out to those individuals who really want to learn how to do nails. All right, submerge your brush, lightly tap. Again, make sure this is flat, and then again, you want to pull down at a 45-degree angle and bounce inside the powder. Count 1, 2, 3, and then at 4, slowly release. Use the tip of the brush to walk around the perimeter. Hold it at this angle. You can notice I'm really just focusing on this end. And then as you can see, the bead will naturally teardrop most of the weight down towards the center. Then what I'm going to do is square off my brush and then use this wedge to slightly sharpen up that smile line. This will eliminate you having to force anything. As you can see, you're going to be able to build it in reverse application with perfection. I appreciate the love. I've been doing this for a very long time. I want to be able to share the expertise with you guys. I mean, there's thousands of professionals that I've worked with over the years all over the world. For those of you guys that love to do nails, for those of you guys that follow us on YouTube, you're going to find a ton of information. Young Nails Inc. on YouTube. There's thousands of videos. For those of you guys that are interested in just information, you can give us a call at 1-800-777-9170. You could also go to youngnails.com. There's a ton of information on there as well. Always here to help. Remember to smash that like button. It's really important that we get the information out to everybody that wants to learn how to do nails. For those of you guys that want to take your skills to another level, and you're interested in any type of education, make sure to give us a call or get a hold of Ray Bracamontes here in home office. For those of you guys that are pros or in school, I think there's 4 or 5 seats left for the April OWC. It's a 1-week course, guaranteed to take your skills to the next level. Give Ray a call. He's going to get you that information. Again, 1-800-777-9170. Be good. Be safe. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe the channel